Hi, how's it going? It's me, Chris. I just I went live at 10:30 and there was no comments. So I thought, "Hey, what is going on here? What is happening?" And then I picked up my phone and looked on the live stream and there was all kinds of comments. So I don't know what happened. It seems like it's working now. Let me know in the comments because I don't know. I don't know what happened. Uh so glad to see you all here. Um Wow. Okay. I don't know what happened. I went live and it just went live somewhere else. So, who knows? In this live stream, I'm going to draw names again cuz it's a fun thing to do. I asked in my Discord channel, if you aren't on the Discord channel, there should be a link in the description. There's a lot of amazing people on there, but I was asking what I should do for my live stream and I got a lot of great suggestions. But someone on there, I think it was Meg Rayano, channel member. She was like, maybe you could do a drawing and an AMA, Ask Me Anything thing. And I was like, oh, well, I sort of assume that they're all AMAs, but maybe I should just announce it. So I'm going to draw names, and it's also an AMA. You can ask me anything, and I'll answer the question. Um, that's usually always the case for my live streams, though. So uh, speaking of Meg, I would like to just do a quick shout out to all of my channel members, especially the super supporters and above, whose names that I draw and include in all the videos that I make while they are active members. Shout out to the newest members. Let me see if I can point them out. Jeremy Lentz, Cinny Sister, I think that's how you say it, Dr. Ink Agnito, and Sane Delusion. Those are the newest additions to the team. Thank you all. Couldn't do it without you. You're the best. The best. That was a bad impression. I was trying to. It was Nacho Libre. Listen, it's a funny movie. Uh, he says it when he's talking about that other wrestler guy. He's the best. I go, whoa, not doing it anymore. Apparently, I can't do it. I'm not gonna try. Okay. Daniel Vetamuthu said, let's do this AMA Friday names. Yeah. Okay, so the thing with the names is I start the top of the list, first come, first serve. However, people are able to cut the line by doing a super chat of $10 and up. Obviously, I have to set a little bit of a limit there because otherwise, people could just cut the line with like a 2-cent super chat. But I just want to keep things fair. So that's why I do that. First come, first serve. Or the super chat option. I have been keeping the live streams. I've been turning off the monetization so they're not cutting ads in while I'm going live. So, just letting you know, I turned off the ads. So maybe a quick ad is check out my new Skillshare class or go to my shop. If you go to my shop, you can use the promo code. Nope, not that one, but subscribe anyway. You could use the promo code live to get a 20% off your order. Also, if you order physical things that I ship, I always jam in tons of extra stickers. So there's always that. Link below to my shop. Okay. Let me just look in the chat real quick. Kathleen, good morning. You said you discovered my live stream last week. You've been looking forward to today. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. It's amazing. David Aronson, you said, aside from the intangibility of luck, what do you believe are the differentiators that set your journey apart from others who have struggled to turn their passion into a successful profession? That is a great question. I have said this before, but I believe that I owe all of whatever success I've had literally to my daily drawing project. I started a daily drawing project back in 2007 when I was a graphic designer working at a studio. And I did it mainly just because I realized I wasn't drawing anymore, and drawing was always a big part of my life growing up. It was like something I enjoyed doing, but it also gave me like a sense of, I don't know, of who I am. It gave me some confidence. When I was a kid, I was very bad at sports because, I never learned how to like catch or anything. So, gym class was rough. Um, but I could like draw pictures. So I'd feel like a loser at gym class. And then, I'd be drawing something later on in the day. And then someone would be like, oh, cool monster. And I'd be like, oh, thanks. And I'd feel like less of a piece of shit. So I don't know. It's just something that I like doing. I was always kind of obsessed with it. But I went to art school and then became a designer. And a year into being a designer, I realized like the only drawing I was doing was just like sketches for design comps. And I was like, oh, this isn't good. And I was worried like I would lose that part of me. So a normal person would just be like, oh, I'm just going to draw more. But I've always had to like trick myself into doing anything. I think it's like part of the ADHD. Um, so in order to do that, I just like make challenges for myself. Um, I just realized that my live stream was playing on my phone, and I caught my in my peripheral vision myself talking, and not great. What was I saying? Okay, so I had tricked myself, and the only way to do that was like committing to this challenge where I was gonna make a new drawing every day. It didn't matter what it was, and I was gonna post it online. And I just like told a handful of people, and that was enough to hold myself accountable. And then I just kept doing it. And the longer I did it, the more I kept going. And then after about a year, I got like a random commission here and there for illustrations based on those daily drawings. And then that happened more and more. And then around 2 years in, the economy just completely crashed. The design studio I was working for sort of imploded. I lost my job. And I was like, hey, maybe I could do this illustration thing full time. 15 years later, things are going well, and I'm still doing it. I did the daily drawings for like 14 years without stopping because I was scared if I stopped doing them, I would lose everything. But it didn't happen. But daily drawings. So what I would say from that is, don't just. I'm not saying like daily drawings are the way to do it, but it's about making tons of work and like sharing it and putting it out there. It doesn't have to be a daily drawing thing, but it's just like making lots of work. It's the only way to get better. Um, it's also key for like longevity in terms of an illustration career. A lot of people will have like a specific thing they do, and then they get hired to do that thing, and then they just keep recycling it over and over again. But if you do lots of personal work, you'll slowly evolve without even trying, and it'll keep your work fresh, and you won't get burnt out and whatever. Okay, so Kathleen is the first commenter, so I'm going to start drawing Kathleen, and I will try to find a question to answer while I'm drawing Kathleen. Let me just write it down quickly. I'm realizing that the ADHD may make this difficult, but I think if I write the name down and then find another question, then I can start answering that. I feel like I might need like a co-host to do this kind of thing. Skippy McHaggis, you said, what's your favorite pizza? Inquiring minds want to know, and how did you decide to publish art in a book? All right, well, let me just scroll quickly to the bottom to make sure there's no chaos happening and try to remember this question. Okay, favorite pizza. That's tricky. I'm less of like a toppings person and more of like a specific, like I'm very much a pizza snob. I live in Connecticut, and those of you who don't know, New Haven, Connecticut is the pizza capital of the world. We have 3 of the best places in New Haven. They're always rated, best in the country. Pepe's, Modern, and Sally's. And, whew, boy howdy. Most other pizza is garbage. Even though garbage pizza is still pizza, I'll still eat it. I'll still like it. But favorite, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to tell you about that. And what the other question is, I got to start drawing. Okay, I'm gonna start drawing, Kathleen, while answering. How did you decide to publish art in a book? Okay, so that's a pretty easy thing to answer, I think. Um, when I was doing the daily drawings, um, when I was at like 700, it occurred to me that I had a lot of drawings. um, actually, even before that, one of the things that I struggled with the drawings was like coming up with an idea for something to draw. And I did lots of series. And one of those first series was like a drawing of every bike that I've ever owned. And when I finished that series, I decided to like put it together in like a little zine, just like a little book with all the drawings in it. Um, and like people were into it and like bought it, and it ended up getting like featured in Bicycling magazine, which was cool. Um, so that made me want to do more stuff like that. But also, being a graphic designer, it just like making stuff like that is very satisfying. And in my first design job, I actually designed some books and stuff like that. So it's like an enjoyable process to like take your art and like put it together and do stuff like that. So anyway, when I oh my god, I'm not sharing my iPad screen. See, I'm sorry. Ugh. Apparently, two things is hard for me to do. I was working on Kathleen's name here. Anyway, I was like, oh, when I reach 1,000, I'm gonna put them together in a book. Um, Meg says Sally's all the way. That's I sort of agree. I'm I think I lean towards modern, to be honest. But yeah, Sally's is great. Sally's is the most difficult one to get into. Um, so anyway, I was like, oh, when I reach 1,000, I'm gonna publish a book with all 1,000, and that was tricky. And I actually had to use Kickstarter to do it because I had to self publish them, and it's a huge book. And then I did it again at 2,000, and then I did another book when I reached 10 years, and that was just like my favorites over the years. Um, so I mean that's how it came to be with doing the book. Sorry, I need to move this mic so I don't smack it while I'm drawing. No, the mic's in my face. My angles are all messed up today. Sorry. Are we okay? Okay. Let me find another question. Uh, Sorry. Trent asked me to draw a horse on my left hand and without a reference. And I think that is absurd. And that's not what I'm doing right now, but I can't help myself. I don't think it's not going to go well, but I'm going to do it. Uh, I don't know why. Okay. It already hurts. All right. I hope you're happy, Trent. I draw teeth. What do you guys think? Is this what you came here for? Did you come here for this? We're supposed to be drawing names. I'm trying to draw Kathleen's name here. To be honest, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Let's get that out of my face. Okay. The good Chad. I haven't even seen your question yet, but I can always count on you to be a positive thing for this channel. I can't wait to go back and look at the question and see if it's not. Okay, anyway. Very specific question. When you applied for Retro's Lyco affiliate, how long did it take for them to get back to you? I mean, you don't know why you're being rejected. So to be perfectly honest, I didn't really apply. I knew them, and they sort of asked me, I believe. But I think you're probably not being rejected. I think it's just a small amount of people. It's not a big company. So people are wearing lots of hats and doing lots of stuff. So they're probably just haven't gotten to it yet. Okay. I'm feeling pretty okay about this. Usually I talk about my process here, but I'm answering questions and I'm got the ADHDs. Hi. Jeremy is a new member, so I'm going to be nice, but he said that he visited a New Haven style place in Florida not too long ago. It was super good. All right. I appreciate them trying, but I'm going to judge and say that it's not the same. There's so much. It's like it's not even just about that. It's like it's about the 100-year-old ovens. It's about the heritage. It's I don't know. I'm rambling. Anyway, this I'm drawing Kathleen's name here with my my vector crispy liner preset in case anyone is interested. My presets are available in my shop, but I also did a video about how to make your own too. So either watch the video or you could get my presets if you want. You could use that live promo code. So because I'm working in vector, I can draw through the lines to get clean edges. So that's what I'm doing here. And it looks like chaos right now, but when I go and start trimming stuff, it'll make more sense. And I think for this one, I'm going to need to go in and trim soon because I'm getting confused looking at it. My sketch was pretty rough, so I'm not quite sure what some of these angles are doing, so I need to do some trimmage there. I think my mic is like in an awkward position today. I don't know what happened, but all my positions are weird. Let me find a question here. Faded, you said, which brush do you use most often? And you said, it's textured, but still solid and clean. So, there are, the brush that I use the most is the classic inker from Retro Supply Co., which is in their liner set. It is just a nice clean brush that sort of feels like a felt tip marker, or like a really sharp brand new Sharpie or something like that. I think it's great. I love it. That's been my go-to for a while now. And it's what I modeled my VV Sharpie gritty vector preset after. They paired together well, so if I need to do something that's vector but have the same quality of line, that preset matches it pretty well, or at least as well as you can get working with vector presets. There is affiliate link to Retro Supply Co. in the description, so if you are interested in that brush set and you want to support the channel, that's a great way to do it. Or you could wait for the good Chad to get approved and use his link. All right, so I want these E's to line up maybe, so I'm drawing these things all the way through. And okay, now let's trim the weeds. Oh, I should find a question while I'm weeding. David Vidamathu, apologize if I'm saying that wrong. He said, what graphic designers were your jam when you were in that industry? What illustrators are your inspos now you're here? Great questions. I was, well, I guess I still am really into Milton Glaser and like Saul Bass, all the Pushpin Studio stuff. In terms of illustration, I mean, there's a lot of great illustrators. I feel like a lot of my inspiration, like I feel like so much of it is just like this montage of stuff in my head, like growing up, inspiration, like 90s cartoons and like punk rock and hip hop and stuff like that. And I don't necessarily feel like I'm inspired. I don't know how to describe this. There's not, with like current illustrators, like I love a lot of their work, but I feel like I'm not trying to like emulate it. I'm more inspired by like ideas or like things that they're doing. I feel like my style is sort of like something that is already a thing that's part of me. So I tend to just get like psyched seeing work, but not in terms of like inspired by style, more of like ideas and stuff like that. Or like actually, I don't know, like I get inspired by things that they've done and that makes me want to draw, but not necessarily like the same way as they do it, if that makes sense. But there are definitely some illustrators that like were a big influence earlier on. Like I was a big fan of let me think. Barry McGee, Steve Powers, Jesse Ledoux. He was one of the designers at, but more of an illustrator at Sub Pop. Still does great stuff. I'm realizing how slow I am at doing these names while answering questions, but hey, this is an experiment. Kathleen, I drew your name. I hope you like it. Let me get up to the top and get a name. David Anderson is oh wait, we have a super chat. Let's see. Lilu. You got two handles. Dealer's choice. The short or the long. Lilu, is that how you say it? Lilu, or that point needs therapy. That's funny, but I'm gonna go with the shorter one just for so I'm drawing a name and not there's too much to think about for the next one. So let's see. L E Eleux. Okay. Thank you. Let's go back to the chat. I'm like not even able to go to the bottom of the chat, and like I don't even know if I heckled about my horse or what. What's happening here? Let's see. Hi everyone. Mm-hmm. Mitchell Adams just became a member. Thank you so much. Okay, this Aaron M. This might be off topic, but do you have any advice for a graphic designer who's part-time attempting to promote to full-time in the same org? Okay, so you're a part-time with a studio and you want to go full-time with them? I mean, let's see. I think like just be very like helpful, like become indispensable. I don't know, like go, over deliver. Like you could do little things like when they ask you how long something's going to take, you say it's going to take longer, but then you over deliver or something. I don't know, just like be super helpful, and also not even just that, just be like a good an important part of like, or important thing to consider when working with other people is like being enjoyable to be around. So you know uh be be try to you know be friendly, but professional, and like I don't know, what am I saying here, like figure out the vibe for the other people, and like is it like in-house or something? Because if it's in-house, like you want to you're gonna be like working and closely with these people, and do a good job. Look at that. I like that. That's good. This is fun. I'm gonna do this in vector so we can get some sharp lines too. I did a terrible job answering your question, and I'm sorry. Maybe because I'm like so far removed from wanting to work somewhere. Squints Prince, you said, Chris, big fan of your work as well as being a designer and rollerblader myself. Would love to hear how you hooked up with Create Originals. Great question. Though it's not that exciting of an answer. They're just Brian and Hakeem are good friends of mine. I used to live in Boston. I've known them forever. I did like graphics for them 10 years ago when they were first starting. So that's how that happened. So now I'm drawing with my gritty vector preset. This is the one that emulates the classic inker from Retro Supply Co. And I'm using vector again, even though I don't normally use vector all the time, but for lettering, it's really great, especially when you want to get like sharp, pointy lines, because you can draw through and then use the vector trimming to get that really sharp point. And I'm trying to kind of flow these letters into each other. So just sort of like following the shape of the previous letter. I should go find another question real quick. I need a dang co-host to feed me questions. Also, if you are thinking about becoming a channel member, or you are a channel member and you didn't see yet, the next virtual hangout, which is a Google Meet situation, where we just like hang out, and usually I draw something, answer questions, and just just chat. Even though there's a good amount of channel members, usually these things are a little bit quiet and more intimate, if you will. Thinking one of the earlier ones was just like me and the good Chad for a good 10 minutes, which was fun, but slightly embarrassing for me that no one turned up. But it's tricky to coordinate timing with like so many different time zones and stuff like that. But anyway, that one's Tuesday. If you are a channel member, check the community tab. There's a members only post on there, or it's on the members website. If you don't know about that, there's a link to that in the community tab as well, because silly YouTube memberships, like YouTube platform, doesn't give me an easier way to like contact you. They don't even give me email addresses. It's wild. So there's that. Ace Aguilar said, you're getting imposter syndrome, but just finished your lettering course on Skillshare, and it was super fun and amazing. That is so great to hear. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. There's so many great projects on there. I've been thinking about doing a video where I just like share some of the projects on there. If that's something that you would like to see, let me know in the comments, because I am currently going through a period where I am feeling like I have no idea like how to make videos that people are going to click on, because my last two videos in terms of performance were just like kind of duds compared to other channel videos that I've made. And I like specifically was trying to like, get a little bit more traction with them, because I need the channel to grow a little bit more so that I can, for it to make sense how much time I spend on it, and like be able to not take on as much client work. Because right now it's in a kind of crazy situation where it's hard for me to balance everything, and I'm constantly battling time. But anyway, my point is, I don't know how to make videos that people want to see, I guess. But at the same time, I get lots of positive feedback about them. So I don't know. I think it's just, it's going to take time. Maybe. But I'm open to suggestions. Okay, so wrong layer. You want a fun confession? I know that I was just answering a question. Oh wait, oh, there was another part of that question. My confession was that I had no idea what the question was, and then I realized it wasn't really a question. It was more of just saying they liked my Skillshare class, and I was treating it like a question. But you also mentioned the imposter syndrome thing, and I just wanted to say that like it's like one of those things that is just there, and like it doesn't even go away. Like I still feel it often, and I've worked with clients that like it still blows my mind. Like, I've worked with Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Google, Nike, Microsoft, Adobe, just like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and like I still constantly have the imposter syndrome. So solidarity, I guess, is what I'm saying. All right, let me grab a name. and the next name is Skippy McHaggis. Can you believe it? I can't believe I get to draw Skippy McHaggis finally. Let me just make sure I write this down. Skippy McHaggis. While I'm writing this down, hopefully you're still in the chat. It's all one word here, but I'm wondering if it can be broken up into Skippy McHaggis. Let me know, because I would prefer not drawing a word that is 4 feet long. Okay, let me find the question. Jenna you're saying Mystic Pizza. That's my answer. Wait, I forgot what you were saying. You said there was a good question, and I'm trying to find it. Okay, and my question, Sally Carson Redwood. Can you tell us about how you use Stream Deck for your setup? We see your face plus iPad plus pizza background. Do you use it for non-live videos? Yeah, hold on a second. Actually, my pizza, thank you for reminding me. I need to fix this graphic because for some reason it stops wiggling at some point, and I think I exported it wrong. So let me see if Skippy responded to me. Skip, what? I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna do whatever I want. Jenna, get out of here with she's always got questionable pizza comments talking about Detroit deep dish. Listen, or I mean, we could call it a pie and I'll eat it, but let's not call it a pizza. The question. Oh, okay. Stream Deck. I gotcha. Okay, let me talk about how I live stream. Okay, so, I use a software called Ecamm Live, and I with Ecamm Live, you can set up scenes and put different things in there. So I have my iPad just connected to plugged into my MacBook Pro with the Thunderbolt cable or USB-C or whatever. And when you do that, it shows up as an option for like one of the cameras in Ecamm. And then I can put my other camera next to it. And then the pizza is just a background thing. So I use Stream Deck basically just to conveniently switch through the scenes. I did a lot of live streams before I even had the Stream Deck. It just makes things more convenient. Like you can also just like set up key commands on your keyboard or just like, use the main controls. But the Stream Deck just gives me buttons and I can program them. So I can switch scenes like that. So I can just be like, hey, back here again. Look, it's just me. I got no iPad screen. And then I can be like, there's my iPad screen. And then I can be like, check out my gritty vector brush presets. So there's that. Okay, so Kohiko, you said, how many projects are you working on at once? So that changes all the time, but right now, let me see if I can figure it out while I'm drawing this. So I would say right now I am working on some illustrations for some packaging for a very cool toy company that I can't really talk about. I'm also doing some little illustrations and looping animation for a university, and I'm doing some editorial illustrations. And what else? I'm working on a collaboration with like a pattern for that with this clothing brand. I mean there I would say 5, 6, 7-ish is typical for me. What's interesting today about these names is that I'm just sort of doing one shot at them and it's working. Let me just double check the spelling here. Skippy McHaggis. Okay, cool. So I'm not going to do this one in vector because I don't want to. I'm going to use the classic inker. I sketch with the Retro Splyco Scumbler currently, which is also part of the liner set. So because this is squiggly lines, I want my smoothing all the way up. And let's just get into this. I see the good Chad and Jenna are waging war, trying to say that square pizza should be a thing. And I'm not going to engage. I don't negotiate with terrorists. Sinister, how do we request our name? Super chat? Sorry, Mr. Okay, so I do first come, first serve, but people can skip the line with a super chat of $10 and up. However, I drew your name because you're a super supporter for the channel, and it's in the member graphic. But you can see it somewhere on there, bottom right. And when you're a super supporter, you can just shoot me an email if you want the image, and I can give it to you. Okay. Aaron Pallison, you said, are there online illustration education programs you'd recommend? So I don't know of like full-on programs, but there's like a ton of amazing classes on anything you'd want to know, and like not just like not just like software, like how to do a specific thing, but like conceptual stuff on Skillshare. My friend Tom Froese has a lot of amazing classes like that, are more just general illustration. There's so many good classes on Skillshare, but like a full specific illustration program, no. But Skillshare does have those like learning paths too that are like curated, where they like pair classes that fit well together. So like there'll be like an illustration learning path. So I do think that is a good option. I'm enjoying the squigglies this morning. I feel like it just goes well with Skippy McHaggis. Let's do a quick fill on these to see how it's going before we do the rest. Trent Langley said Chicago pizza is lasagna. Yes. Okay. Kohiko, you said, how do you manage all the different projects? I have multiple going on, but sometimes my brain stops working because there needs so much to be done. Yes. So it is a struggle. I make lots of lists. Currently, I'm trying to um, get better organizing, and I'm doing that using Notion. So I have like a thing for each project, and it ends up like being like a page. So it's like I have the list of projects, but I can just like click on them, and then it opens up a document that has all the information that I need to know and like due dates and stuff like that. Um, for me, with like ADHD, it's hard for me to focus on things, so I need to. It's the time of day is crucial for me for like strategy stuff and like figuring out what needs to be done. So I need to do that early in the day. So what I do at the beginning of the day is I kind of go through my list and see what needs to happen that day, and then I can like the actual work and like the illustration stuff that you know once I start doing it, it's fine. It's just knowing when to stop and when to like do something else. Like it's hard for me to not want to just do something until I'm done, and that's not ideal when you're balancing multiple projects. Something that works well for me when I do it is like using a timer and being like, okay, I'm going to work on this project for an hour, and I set a timer, and then move on to another project. So like I'm making progress on all of them. Um, Sometimes, obviously, if the deadlines are approaching or something like that, and that I have to like focus on one and not the other, um, there's always that. So that's my. I would also say like I'm not great at it. Like it's still a struggle balancing stuff, but it's um, but I don't miss deadlines, so I'm also very neurotic about stuff like that. Like I won't like I'm the idea of not doing something like that stresses me out, so that helps me to stay focused, but sometimes it just leads to stress and panic. But it's usually fine. Uh Thanks, Skippy. Glad you like it. Let's move up to the top. I just see Andrew with some pizza commentary. I like some olive too. I like the cheese, garlic, olive oil. The white sauce, no, just olive oil. Crushed red pepper, like that a lot. Um, let's see. The next name we have here is. Let me switch back to my pencil because can't just be sketching with a non-pencil. Is Javier Cobb Bristino? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Bris and channel member. Thank you. Jeremy, you said you use a Kanban board. I don't even know what that is. Diana said maybe a video on your Notion setup. I think I need a little bit more time, like getting my shit together with it, because right now it's just not that helpful. It'd be like, check out my Notion setup, and it's like that's not a good setup. But I'm getting better, so I think once I'm better, I think that might be helpful. I would Javier, you said you can do Javier Cobb. I appreciate that. Then we can do another one. Skippy Magus, thank you for calling my brush presets amazeballs. Hassan, you said you have the Apple Pencil without the pressure setting. I didn't know they made an Apple Pencil without pressure settings. Is that a new thing? Or is it just like an Apple compatible pencil? I would say that the pressure sensitivity is kind of crucial, unless you have like a very specific monoline style where you don't have any variation. But I think for most people, it's kind of crucial. So that's my thought on that. I would say also, just on a side note, that I believe the second week of May is when Apple will be announcing new iPads and possibly a new pencil. So something to consider. I decided to do some like round letters for this one because I was looking at Cobb and that sort of has that. It just would be nice round, so that's what I was doing there. I might do Cobb bigger or something to balance. Maybe something like sometimes when I sketch something like this and I want to make it more interesting, maybe I'll like go into transform and like go to distort and like maybe play with some like angles or something to make it more interesting, possibly. Could be cool. Let's try that. Maybe even more so. You could also use the sometimes the liquify is fun to kind of move things around, make it a little more squishy or playful. Maybe we can use that to work with. Then rotate it a little bit. Why do I just say instead of just figuring out what I'm going to say? Troy, you said it's a new Apple Pencil intended for cheaper school-related project. Oh, okay. I didn't know that they made that. Yeah, I feel like if you're just like note taking, that's fine. But for illustration, I mean, I use the pressure sensitivity constantly, like just to, like here to draw this J, I want to taper this down here, so I'm like lifting up to get that subtle taper. It's funny that I actually had an idea, like I have a document with just like video ideas, and for some, I don't know how I came up with it, but I was like, what if I ordered like the cheapest Apple Pencil on Amazon and like did a drawing with it, and I assumed that would have no pressure sensitivity. So that was just, I don't know why I thought of that. I was just thinking of like challenge videos I thought might be fun. But also, I think a lot of people get caught up on software and tools and stuff like that. And although, like, I'm a big Apple fan and like the iPad and the Apple Pencil, and like, everyone knows that I love Procreate. I mean, Fresco. I like Procreate too, but mainly Fresco. It's, the software is just a tool and it's whatever. And, you can work with whatever you have. So I'm using my crispy liner preset for this. So I can draw right through the other letters, and then I can just kind of come in and trim it off. Oops. Which I can't trim off this one because it was all one shape, but that's okay. Sean Michelson said, Javi on the cob. That's funny. Oh. Chris Zappa said it has tilt sensitivity, but not pressure sensitivity. That is weird. SNER just became a member. Shout out. Shawn Michaels said the magic comes from within. So true. So true. So I think this would look cool with a little bit of a like a border type situation. So I'm just gonna kind of trace around the outside a little bit. Like this. So I've been working on that. My last Tuesday's video, if you haven't seen it yet, is a deep dive on all the different brushes in Adobe Fresco, like the pixel, vector, live brushes, and all the settings and different controls. And it's part of a series that I'm doing that's like trying to replace this old intro to Fresco video I have that's like a very popular video on my channel, but it's kind of old and long-winded, so I'm redoing it with like more focused sections. So the next one, Tuesday's video, is a deep dive on layers. So stay tuned for that. And by stay tuned, I mean watch it when it comes out on Tuesday. And please watch it because I don't know what's happening. The algorithm is canceling me. My views are in the toilet right now. Pedro, you want some light background music? I got you. Sprites. Yes, I was using vector brushes for Javier. I was not using vector brushes for Skippy McHaggis. Going back and forth. All right, let's see. Who's up next? Looks like we haven't gotten any new super chats, so that means I'm going to go back to the beginning because I do these first come, first serve. Unless there's a $10 and up super chat. After Javier is Kohiko and Jenna, but I'm almost positive I know I drew Jenna, and I'm pretty sure I drew Kohiko. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I didn't draw your name, but I think I did. So I'm gonna move on from that for now to Aaron Pallinson. So let's like how I'm like leaving these names up here for proof of concept. Just it makes me feel better as I'm going. It's like, look, I did draw some decent ones so far in case it goes poorly. So Aaron P.A. double L, 1 E, 1 S, 1 E N. Also a channel member. Sinister, you said, will that include blending? I talk about blending in the brushes video, and I do talk about the layer modes, which has some blending in it as well in the layers video. So yes, is what I'm saying. Okay. Aaron, why did I just make your name big? That's not what I need. I just need it there for a reference. Okay, let's see. I think I'm gonna start with the last name because it's longer. I'm just like vibing on the lettering today. Normally I just kind of like sort of sketching, but I'm just like going into things. I don't know. If you've seen my other ones, you know there's a little bit more planning, I guess, instead of just like going straight into it, but that's not what's happening today. And it's kind of working. Sometimes just like in the lettering flow state, like I feel like that kind of balances pretty well. Making this kind of look like a sort of badass metal punk situation. I don't know. I can't believe it keeps working out with the spacing. All right, merge that down. Delete. Okay. I'm gonna do this one not vector because I want it to have that a little bit more texture-y vibe. Bigger brush. And turn the smoothing down a little bit so I can kind of make some rough edges. Thanks for the, super chat, Sally Carson. You asked if I could draw the words happy path. Typically, I try to limit this to names, but I will make an exception since it's sort of like the same length as a name, and maybe it is a name. It could be a name. The reason I do that is, you know, because I don't want this to like turn into a thing where I'm like inadvertently designing logos for people in like a minute. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be like a, you know, just drawing some names for fun without the baggage. Oh, I should see if there's a question. Darian, you said, hey, I saw you at the event in the fall where one group came up with a Nike business brand. Oh, you're a UHeart student. Hey, Darian. That's awesome. That was, I believe, a C80C event. Fun fact about UHeart, that's where I went to school, and also I teach in their MFA program for illustration, but it's a low residency program, and the class I teach is just when they're on campus in the summer, and it's only a week. So although I teach in that program, I only teach in person for a week in July, but it's like all day, every day for the week. But it's cool because it's like a full semester and I just get it done in 1 week, which is perfect for me. Sally, it's up to you. I don't mind doing Happy Path. Let me know. I think also it like makes me then I start thinking about like concept. But yeah, it's totally fine. I'm just being a weirdo. I don't mind doing it. Whatever you want, whatever you want. What it's gonna make you the most happy path, I will make that path for you visually. I'm making you a real badass, Aaron. Okay, there's a couple little tangenty areas here where these letters are touching a little bit. I just want to clean that up. Let's see. Just get a little more breathing room there. So they're not touching completely. Actually, I kind of like these letters touching, but I don't want it to be the only spot where that happens. So let's see if I could do that somewhere else in a not forced way. Nope. I don't like it. I don't like it. Whoops, wrong tool. Okay. Okay, I think I have the need to add a little bit of texture into this, so we're gonna do that. So I'm going to use this texture brush as an eraser. So I'm just coming in and erasing some texture out of this, and then I'm gonna add some extra texture on top of it. Okay, so now as a brush, I'm gonna come in and just sort of give it some like overspray. And this is what am I using? I'm using the Crazy Rougher from Retro Splyco's Woodland Wonderland set, which has a lot of really great textures in it. And then I just want to do one more texture just to make it so it's not all the same. There's this other one that I like from that same set, the Waxy Roller. This is just like a little bit bigger chunks. And then just a little bit of erasing with the same thing. I like to use it as a brush, but also like take some out to give it that sort of stamp look a little bit. Cool. Hope you liked that, Aaron. That was fun. Skippy, you said, do you do any kind of physical stretching or care for your drawing body? Yeah, so I have had a lot of like tendinitis from repetitive movement. I try to stretch more. I should do more stuff, but stretching is something that I try to do more of, just like stretching my wrists, and also exercises to like loosen my shoulder, because my shoulder gets really tight, or raising my arm like this, like limited mobility. Clearly I'm over, I need to be stretching. There's actually a really good book that I got at like an Icon Illustration conference called, hold on, called Draw Stronger. It doesn't want to focus on the book because it wants my face, but it's called Draw Stronger. It's a good book. It's got all kinds of stuff about that in there. Hi Tabitha, glad you like it. Pedro, Sane Delusion. I'm doing this first come first serve, but you just became a super supporter, so I drew Sane Delusion in the members graphic that was on the screen. And if you want that image, just shoot me an email, I'll send it to you. Okay, Sally Carson is up next with the super chat. Okay. And this may have to be the last one. Okay. Sally Carson. Same Delusion. I will quickly pop it up on the screen. And it is bottom left. But it'll be in the videos that I make while you are a channel member. And again, you shoot me a message if you want the image. Okay, let me start drawing Sally Carson, and let me see if there's a question for me to answer while I have this. Disrupty said this is perfect to have on while working. Cool. What? There's noise happening at my window, like a bird is trying to fly in. Abby, you said you struggle with choosing color palettes. How do you come up with colors to use? Actually, just did a video about color. It's like maybe three videos ago. I think you'll find some helpful stuff in there. But I usually try to like start minimally and then expand as I need to. I try to think about using color to emphasize different things. Sorry, I think there's a bird that's just like hitting my window. Maybe we'll do script for Sally because I haven't done any script today. Okay, let's see. Maybe. I think the reason I'm thinking I might want to do script is because there's a lot of potential connecting letters, like the S and the Y. Y's are fun with script, but it's like figuring it out first, like how they'll fit together. So sometimes I just have to like kind of go in and draw it and see maybe like ways they can connect. Possibly. Okay, maybe. This is literally the process, just like trying things and then like redrawing over it, seeing like potential ways. I think this is gonna work. So I like that we can kind of fill in this empty space down here with that loop, this little swash of the Y. If you're interested in more about this stuff, you should check out my Skillshare class, which is an introduction to illustrative lettering. There's a whole section on script tips. Also, I believe I made that section available to members on my channel as a members only video, which it's from my Skillshare class. Okay, so most of this is good. The S is a little wonky. We don't want to fix that up. So sometimes when I'm doing script and I'm struggling fixing up different letters, sometimes I'll like come in and put some like base guides to sort of help with making it more cohesive and like using it to like match my angles. And sometimes this helps and sometimes it can make it a little static. So I like to try to find a good balance where it's like follows the structure, but then also has a little bit of looseness to it. So I'll have that there, and then I'll often start with like trouble areas. Like right now, the issue is this S is just kind of at a weird angle. So I'm gonna see if I can fix that and then make it work with the other things, like the C. So it's a little bit better. I think it just I think I just want to shorten the top part. What is weird about it? Okay, I think that's better. All right. Do you hear the bird chaos? It's like it's knocking on my window or something. I need to... know what it's doing. So sometimes when you put in these guides, you realize, hey, this was looking good, and now it's not. So then you can turn off the guides and then kind of compare and contrast and see what's happening. You can say, okay. All right, sorry, hold on. This is just like a bird just whacking my window. He's like, hey, trying to live stream here. I don't even know what I was talking about anymore. Tabitha, you said you love the breathing background you have. Don't know how to do something similar. Do you have? I actually do. So it's really easy to do in Adobe Fresco. There's a video I made a long time ago, but it is on there. I'm trying to think of what it's called. Okay, so I hated the new version, so what we're gonna do is just fix the old version. So move this in a little bit. Sometimes you just gotta eyeball it. Okay, so Carson is the arson actually. The setting of fire is the problem here. I think that's all we needed to do. When I'm doing a script like this, it can be very iterative, like trying to finesse things. So okay, I think we're ready. Smoothing way up for this one. Let's see, a little bit bigger. Okay. The bird wants its name done too. Sister asked if I was a Disney princess. I'm not gonna draw myself as a Disney princess. Tabitha, yeah. So I think I actually remember the thumbnail being like me making a dumb face and like giving a thumbs up, actually like similar to the thumbnail for this live stream, but it says I think it's something about like a new feature, because when I made the video it was when Fresco introduced motion in place, and that is what I used to do it. So maybe that'll help you find it. But it's actually very easy, and it's I think it's a pretty short video, so hopefully those clues will help you find it. So thicker on where the downstrokes would be, thinner on the upstrokes. even though I'm not drawing it that way. I'm just doing it in ways to get the smoothest possible curves. And pulling or pushing at certain angles is easier. I'm also sort of skipping around to like get the more critical parts, and then I can adjust the others as needed. For example, I need the spacing on that L to, you know, fit with that swash on the S. So the A has some flexibility there, so I can like adjust that if needed, but this needs to fit with the rest, so that's why I'm doing that first. Okay, so I just, the S, I think needs to come over a little bit, so I'm just gonna do this on a new layer. Okay, and because the line work is pretty thin, I think it might be nice to maybe knock it out of a shape. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Apparently that's something I'm into this morning. I just think it can be helpful when you have kind of like fine line, like simple or thin lines. Can give it a little bit more structure. Put it in a little house, if you will, a little letter house. All right, fill that in, and then come over here and make this white. Yeah, I think that's cool. Hope you like it, Sally. Sometimes, all right, I just want to try one more thing. So sometimes this can look nice. So just do like a skinny little line where the loops are. Just gives it like a little dimension, if you will. Or not dimension, I don't know, just I don't know. I can't decide. I think it's a nice addition sometimes. Or we could keep it more simple. It's making me realize this and a little too chonky over there. I don't know, I can go either way. That was fun. Real monsters versus the Jetsons. That's a funny idea. Seeing delusion. Someone said it's called Amazingly Simple New Feature. Thank you. Thank you for knowing my videos better than me. All right. This has been fun. I need to go finish editing my video for Tuesday and do some client work before this weekend. Thank you, Daniel. Glad that you liked it. Let's quickly just pull them all up so that I can, feel a little better about, I don't know. Sometimes I just like to see them all together. It makes me feel like I did something. Okay, what we're gonna do is duplicate this layer group so that I can make these small and not compromise their original what are we doing here? We're wasting time. I just want to see them all together. I want to see what we did today. There we go. That's what we did this morning. Hope you like them. Cool. Thank you. And look out for my video on Tuesday. And I'll see you next Friday for another live stream. This has been fun. Good talk. Okay, bye.